Welcome to episode 3, SHAPIRO'S, Rooted in American Craft. I am Matt, joined by my awesome sister Alena.
Hello.
Welcome. Our goal for making these is to kind of give you a little insight on American craft. We want to give you a better understanding of the handmade nature and also kind of what it's like running a family business. This is episode 3. Episode 1, you got to meet Alena and I briefly. Episode 2, we had an awesome interview with our mom, Sue, clay artist extraordinaire. I apologize for no video for last week's episode. I had some technical glitches on my end, but fortunately I have purchased a new camera. I have a new microphone, so hopefully I sound better and I look a lot better. You guys can be the judge, but I hope that's the case. But welcome. How are you doing, Alena?
I'm doing good. How are you?
You know, it's another week. I think we're starting to understand how to do these a little bit better. I think we're getting the flow a little bit more smoothly, and I'm having a blast with it so far. The feedback's been awesome.
Yeah, it's been fun hearing from, different past customers that have been listening and some of our artists and kind of, figuring out what direction to go with everything. So, yeah.
And for those that may have stumbled upon us, please make sure you like and subscribe. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts, YouTube. That's Shapiro's with apostrophe S, rooted in American crafts. Also, give the gallery a follow on Facebook and Instagram, Shapiro's Gallery. We're trying to keep everything as current as possible, and Alena's always updating the social medias with the newest pieces that have arrived, and you get to see and meet some of the people behind the scenes that make the gallery happen. So Sue was making some mugs last time we talked. Are they in the gallery yet? Where are we at with those?
We have some of hers. I don't think any of the brand new ones have come in yet, but I'm expecting them pretty soon. But we do have a good assortment of hers right now.
Yeah, when I was in the studio the other day, I saw some kind of geometric shaped ones. She definitely has some really cool ones inspired by the Skyway. I saw that she was glazing them to make it look like the Skyway at night when it's lit up. So that's I'm excited to see them finally get out of the kiln after that second firing and into the gallery.
Yeah, and those are always very quick sellers. So if you're wanting a Skyway mug, I would say get here sooner than later.
Are they going to be on the website?
I'll have them up on the website. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. So for those that want to see what we're talking about, you can always go to shapirogallery.com and see the mugs. I know we just put a video up on the YouTube channel that shows one of the sculptures she's working on. It gives a little bit better visual aid to what she described last week. If you didn't listen to episode 2, make sure you check it out and then watch the video on YouTube. And you can kind of see what Sue's working on and then how it's coming together. So my favorite segment, out of the gallery. When Alena and I actually have a life and we leave the awesome gallery and we get to be, us. What did you do? Anything fun?
Well, I know most of what we're talking about this week is what I have done outside the gallery, but I was just in Atlanta. So I just got back from that and I survived the crazy airport delay phenomenon. And luckily our flight actually made it out, which was good. But yeah, that was kind of my outside the gallery this week.
So last week I baked. This week we did trivia in Tampa. So shout out to Henderson's in South Tampa. And we got first place. Our team is Bucky's Enthusiasts. We got first place by a landslide. It's fun. Every Tuesday night we go out and get to use some of my knowledge. And I was able to answer the final question to put us over the edge. So go us.
Sports team?
No, actually, it was popular events in time. You had to order them from most recent to latest. It was, I think the 4 were, one was YouTube created. When did Roger Federer win his first Grand Slam? When did Colin Powell become the Secretary of State? And then when did Anna Nicole Smith died? So they're all within 2 years of each other. So I was able to get 2 out of 4, and then from there we were able to narrow it down to win. So I enjoyed it, and it's nice to be able to get out of the gallery and everyone knows Gallery Matt and Gallery Alena. It's if you see us out, you can say hi. How's your chick daughter? How is she doing?
She's just about better. Yeah, Zoe's
Okay,
doing pretty good. Yeah, and then
okay,
Avery's been, doing swim lessons, and she's starting to really excel there, which we know is so important for Florida. So
nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
they keep me busy. Yeah.
perfect, awesome. Well, that's Out of the Gallery with Matt and Alena. This episode we are really focusing on buying show, trade show, what a wholesale show is, kind of how we go about filling the gallery with different artists and different items. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for listening. So you just got back in town. Where were you?
So I just got back from Atlanta, and my mom and I went to one of the America Mart. I don't even know. This has a new name now, but the Atlanta gift show we went to, and it's one of the. We go to a few shows throughout the year. That's one of the ones that we go to, and it's basically a gigantic convention center that is set up with. This one has thousands and thousands of vendors. Most of it is not for us, but it has vendors set up that they show their work, and you basically wander the aisles, and we look for something that we think is going to be a good fit for the gallery. This show was hard for us to shop because we are only made in America. So we're very specific with what we're looking for and kind of weeding through all the aisles to find some new people, which we did do, which was great. But yeah, that's kind of what I have some pictures I think we're going to put up on the YouTube channel that you can take a look and kind of see what I'm talking about. But it's this particular one. There's 3 buildings. Each building is 15 floors. And, I think there's anywhere from 100 to 200 booths on each floor in all these buildings, and you just kind of roam the aisles and see what jumps out at us.
So when you go to the show, are you going with a particular look in mind? Are you going with my goal is to find a new jeweler, a new glass artist, a new this or a new that? Do you go with with a mission, or do you go seeing we may not need another clay artist, but if you find one, you might bring them in and fit them into the plan? Is that how do you like, what's the plan of attack when you get to a show?
Kind of both. There's always different goals that I'll have where I'm looking for if I think we need a new jeweler or new, addition to the kids corner or some new yard art. I'll always kind of go specifically looking for those things, but every now and then we'll also stumble upon something else that we just can't pass up. One of my big things that I was looking for at this show is, one of our favorite jewelers, Patricia Locke, has retired, and she always took up such a big spot in our case. So I've really been looking for the next Patricia Locke that we can bring in. So that was a big goal of mine heading to this show. But, we found a lot of other great stuff too that I wasn't even expecting to find. We found some new cards that we're bringing in that have these cool wood incorporated into them. And we found some really awesome new yard art that we're bringing in. I did find a new jeweler. It's not going to be the next Patricia Locke, but it is going to be a really awesome addition to our case. We found some new kid stuff. It was really successful. We got some new wood serving pieces that I'm really excited about that we're bringing in.
Nice.
Yes, I go in with specific things in mind, but it's also, you never know what you're going to find.
And for those that missed episode 1, definitely go back and listen to it. Alena does 95% of the ordering for the gallery. My side is more focused on being on the floor selling and making sure the money all works out. So when we have these events that go on, most of the time everything gets deferred to Alena, and she is the one that helps kind of bring everything together. And our thought process behind this, I think, is if you have too many people all trying to write orders, you don't get a flow in the gallery. And I think the nice thing with Alena has a great eye for how to bring the collection together, and also how to make sure that we have enough different styles of the different mediums in the gallery. And I think we agree on this. If I was to do one and you were to do the other, or one category, I think it would just be chaos in the gallery. So when we go to these shows, we all go. This particular show was just Alena and our mom, but we all kind of defer and say, Alena, here's our thought. How do you think it fits into the entire plan? So that's kind of a little backstory on how the roles are divvied up at the gallery. So when you walk the aisles, you pause at a booth, and you see someone that you like. What's the next step? How do you go about putting together an order?
Well, it really depends what I'm looking at. If it's a jeweler, let's say, I like to actually like pull out the pieces and lay it all out so I can kind of visualize how it's going to look in the case. I'll actually make the groupings. I can make sure that it's all going to display well. I think time of year, whereas a lot of what I was shopping for at this show was going to be for holiday time. So you think more holiday gifts. So, we sell a lot more sets in November and December than we do any other time of year. So what I mean by that is I'll look for, earrings and necklaces that will go well together and show well together and that someone might purchase as a really nice gift for somebody. Um, for other things like the yard art, we were looking to get some more colorful things. So we really kind of went out with that. So when we found someone that had some color in their yard art, we were really excited about that. Just to sort of add more. We have a lot of copper and steel in the garden, which is great, but now we're going to be able to add some pops of color, which I think will look better. And it also will show you how you can mix and match different things in your garden. I know I talked about it in episode 1, but I really see it as like a giant puzzle that, we build. And the way that works is Matt will give me numbers for each month that, you want to spend X amount of dollars, and that will make sure that we have enough stuff in the store for everyone to buy things. And it's trying to figure out how to divvy up that money to bring in what we need and fill in different holes. And we have charts that we fill out. And I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, but some of it's visual, some of it's numbers. I spend a lot of time making sure that it's a good price for people. We don't want to bring in something that's going to be way more than someone's going to want to spend. Does the quality, does it match the price? That's important as well. And we also have very high standards here where is it a quality product? So we spend a lot of time looking at that and, looking if there's range in the artist's line.
And it's got to be difficult, for me. I'm very analytic, and I enjoy my numbers, and it's easy. I know, coming in, going out, and it's very formulaic. It's got to be hard when you go to the shows that you have to shop for. Sometimes it might not be your particular taste,
Right.
and also you have to shop for, the varying demographics, and the amount of, we get a lot of visitors at the gallery, so you have to shop for not necessarily Florida, but
Right.
sometimes from the Midwest, the Northeast, the Northwest. It's got to be a little challenging to say this is going to be a great piece. I personally might not like it, but I know my customer will. So how do you kind of get into the various customers' mindsets?
Well, I think one thing that we have as a gallery and as a family going for us is we are a family that does this as well. So where I know Matt said I'll have like the final say, but we get input from each other. So if there's something that I might love and I'll be like, oh, this is great, let's bring this in. And then there's something else that my mom might be drawn to that, I didn't even think of. And I'm like, oh, great. So that'll fit that market. And then, I'll talk to you and I'll talk to dad and you'll get your input. And then we have a lot of wonderful employees that work with us as well. And I'll call them and, some of them are younger than us. So I'm able to get the younger perspective from them. We also have some that are older. So I'm able to get an even older perspective. So, it's hard because I can't shop for just what I want, because what I want is not what you're going to want. And, I spend a lot of time working the floor at the gallery as well. And I'm able to listen to customers and I'll hear what they're looking for. Someone will say like, oh, I'm looking for something for my 15-year-old granddaughter. And, I'll walk around trying to help them find something. And then if I realize, oh, I don't have something like that, I kind of keep a mental note in my head that next time I go buy, I'll kind of be like, okay, what could this grandma buy her 15-year-old granddaughter, and things like that. So it's a mixture of working the floor, hearing what customers are looking for, and then also getting everyone's input that I have access to.
So, for as much as we want your feedback on our podcast, we also really do enjoy feedback in the gallery, because we are always listening, and
Yeah.
it's been fun over the past 26 years of having the gallery, of seeing how we've kind of evolved and grown and changed with the look, the feel, the style. And I think you have a big hand in helping keep the gallery fresh, so it's not the same old every time our
Thank
customers
you.
come in. And for those that are local that are listening, we try to keep it fresh for you, so when you come in you don't see the same 12 items or 12 artists. We always are forcing ourselves to keep it new and keep it fresh and keep it as a new experience for
Yep.
when you're in the gallery. And I think you do a great job of that. But it's got to be nerve wracking because I know when after these shows we at the show you write the order, you get an invoice and it's listed all the items and there's a total on the bottom corner of what's owed once the pieces come in. I know it goes through my head when I get the stack. What goes through your head? You know, you've just written an order for 25 or 30 different sculptures or different pieces of jewelry. What's going through your mind?
Well, there's some things that we'll bring in that I know are winners, and those I don't even give any second thought to. But, for example, there's a new jeweler that I just found at this last show, and I was, building the order and we put it all on the tray and it's great and I'm very excited about it. But then afterwards I was started to panic, like, did I bring in enough necklaces? Do I have enough, earrings to go with this? And, so you start second guessing a little bit, but then I also need to remind myself that, I've been doing this for, 12, 13 years at this point. And I kind of know what I'm doing, which is great. And then plus if we don't have it, then there's another jeweler that I have that will work for you. So, it's, of course I second guess things, especially brand new work that we've never brought in before, but I kind of know what our customers are looking for. So that helps kind of, calm me down a little bit if I start to panic.
It doesn't calm me down at all, but I'm glad it calms you down. Uh, so it's fun. It's definitely a puzzle. It's fun for me to watch it all come together from a number on a chart to a number on an invoice, and then the physical item coming in the gallery. And then once we get that, it's the next challenge for you is then how do we display it and bring it all together? And it's fascinating. I can tear apart spreadsheets and numbers and make those pieces work. I think it's more fun to also watch you bring together 220-ish or so artists into a really cohesive unit. And I think is that one of the biggest challenges you see is how do you might find a piece you absolutely love or an artist that you absolutely love, but if it doesn't fit with the overall look, is that a challenge that you sometimes have to just not bring even though you think it's great?
Yeah, I mean, that just happened to us at this show where my mom found a new, we had it previously, we hadn't carried it in a while, that we were thinking about bringing in, but it was just a question of where do we put it? Because the one thing that we really pride ourselves on is how we display the gallery and that you can walk through without feeling like you're, going to bump into something and knock stuff over. We try to let things breathe a little bit. So we can't bring in too much because then everything will be overstuffed. So you have to learn, like, when do you say no to something? And maybe we didn't bring it in now, but we'll bring it in the spring or things like that. So figuring out where things are going to be displayed is really important, because you could bring in the best stuff in the world, but you don't have a spot to put it, then it's not going to show well. So you really need to kind of know your layout and the flow.
So you're placing orders in July that might not get here till the holidays or even into next year.
Most of what we just wrote for now is for, October, November, December. It's like, we try to, I don't like to order too far out because I want to kind of see what's on the floor and what's selling and if there's any new trends coming through that we need to make sure we have. But we order far enough in advance because the stuff that we carry again is all handmade. So someone has to actually go and make this. So I can't order it, on October 15th and expect it in the gallery at the end of October for holiday shopping. You got to do it now so that the artist can start creating the pieces.
So we got to meet Sue the artist last week. You guys went to Atlanta together. Yep. So let's bring on Sue, the gallery owner and buyer that kind of showed you the ropes. So you just got back from Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
You got to walk the show. What is for newer artists or younger artists or those that are interested in getting into wholesaling, what's some advice you would give them after returning from the show?
Well, first of all, just advice about being a wholesaler as a craftsperson. Doing wholesale can really give you just a normal life. You have a little more control on your income, what kind of orders are coming in, rather than just depending on weekend shows or maybe online sales. it's nice to have relationships with galleries. So it can give you a very nice lifestyle being a wholesaler. My advice is to really know your product. It's good to, maybe test out some designs on a retail level. Know what you're doing before you jump into it. You don't want to get into it too quickly and not be ready, so that, galleries or stores that might buy for you, their initial experience with you may not be positive and you may never see them again. So really get a handle on what you're making and wholesaling. Don't feel like you have to do what everyone else is doing, because as a buyer, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for new things.
And one thing,
go ahead, Elena. Go ahead.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to add is for us, or for me personally, one of my favorite things about buying is getting to know the artist and know the person that is making it. And, when I walk around our store, like I know everyone's name. I know all the artists that we carry. I know something about all of them. And I think that's such an important part of our business, is really making that relationship with the artist. So it's not just some random company that we're calling that's sending stuff down. I can tell you their first name. I can tell you how old their kids are. I can tell you, what they do for fun. Or, my brother will joke with some of them about hockey games and, things like that. And I think it's important that if you're an artist that's wholesaling, it's so important to make that relationship with your stores. And so that you're comfortable enough that if, say I have a problem, I can call you and we can talk about it, and vice versa. If you're having a problem, you can call us and you can talk about it. And it's not like you're talking to a stranger, you know the person. And I think that's so important. A lot of shopping now is done online, but it's so important to me as a buyer to also get to see your work in person, not only just to see your work, but to get to know you. And that's one thing that I would encourage new artists that are looking into wholesale is, I know shows, sometimes people think they're the thing of the past and outdated, but I completely disagree with that mindset. And I think it's really important that you go and you do shows so that you are meeting your stores, because it's also going to improve your work. Because the way that I get feedback from customers when I work the gallery floor, I can now give you feedback as an artist from someone that's selling your work, and that's going to help you grow and change your line as well. So that would be one piece of advice that I would give a new artist is, if you want to wholesale, do a show so that you can meet the people that are buying your work.
Absolutely. A few times you mentioned relationships, and over the 26 years that we've been in business with a gallery, we have counted on those relationships. Artists have been there for us, and we've been there for them. And the nice thing about this industry that we're in, it's personal.
How did being an artist help you to becoming a gallery owner / buyer? Did you take anything from before the gallery that you learned to bring into ordering for the gallery?
Yeah, it's I really pride myself on quality craftsmanship. So that's what I'm looking for. That's why I like to be at a show. I need to pick up things. I want to look on the bottom side of things. I wanted to make sure, like, the bottom of the mug is as pretty as the top, or the inside of the box is as beautiful as the outside. So quality craftsmanship.
So, ironically enough, when we first opened the gallery, it was Dad / Mike was the numbers and kind of on the floor, and you were kind of behind the scenes doing the ordering and displaying. And fast forward to now, I'm now kind of the numbers and the face on the floor, and Elena is kind of the ordering and the display, where now you two can slowly enjoy whatever retired life looks like. What's the biggest difference that you see with how you and Elena approach ordering?
We actually have very similar tastes. Elena used to go to the shows when she was in high school with me, so she's been exposed to it a lot. As far as I'm looking for beautiful designed work, exciting work, unique work. Elena's looking for the same, but she also is much more aware of pricing.
Do you agree or disagree, Elena?
I think that's pretty accurate. I've learned, like, like Mom said, I've been going to shows since I was in high school. And, back then I kind of shopped the way that she would shop, where I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, yeah, sure, we can sell this. And, as I've gotten older and now I understand the business side of it, I get that you also need to make sure that you can also sell it. So it's a hard balance to figure out, what to bring in. And, Matt always talks about, you want things that are going to kind of sell quickly, because again, we are a business. Like, this is how we all make our livelihood, is we work at the gallery, we sell things. That's how we live. So we need things that are going to move, but you also need to balance out bringing in those, cool pieces that, draw people in. And then you have the other things that are kind of fast sellers. And, so I think that's one thing that I've sort of differentiate from Mom, is that she's always looking for those cool pieces that are going to just like bring you in. But then I'm over on the other side trying to find the stuff that's going to balance it out. But it's good. But again, that's why we're a good team.
Mm-hmm.
We all sort of, we balance each other out. So yeah.
You and Dad built this gallery. This is your baby.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like when that day you finally realized that I no longer am the main person buying? What was it like when you said, Alena, here's the throne, I'm passing it on to you? I know you now get to be in your studio and that's where you're happiest, but
Mm-hmm.
it had to be an interesting day to finally say, now I'm passing it on to you and good luck.
I'm really happy about that. And Alena does have a much better mind for numbers. She really is good. So I'm happy. I'm in a really good place. I did not have problems because I have total faith, and we talk about work, and she looks for input and all. And if there's something I feel strongly about that I think may not be a quick resell, but just gives a character to the gallery, she's like, okay, we can do that. And so I do defer to her, though. I trust her. So I think she's
And
doing a great job.
what was it like for you, Alena, to finally know that the gallery more or less rests in your hands as far as bringing in stuff to pay the bills?
I'm not sure it ever really like hit me all at once, that until right now that you're saying this, that it was all
the pressure's on.
So it was kind of a slow transition where, again, I worked at the gallery all through high school and went to the shows, and then after I went away to college, and when I came back and joined on, I kind of worked alongside Mom for a long time, and I still do, but so it wasn't like it was like all right, now it's your turn. It was kind of like a smooth transition. So but I really love it, and I love looking for things, and I love, you'll see me randomly, sometimes people walk in and they'll be like, oh, you're just walking, and I'm like, yeah, but I like to kind of like take it in and see what we have in the gallery, and like what needs to be filled, what holes are there. So I guess I never really thought of the pressure of it, honestly. I think it's just because I like what I do, I love what I do, so it's fun for me. So yeah, I don't know if that answers the question or not, but
I think it does. And I think the nice thing is for those that know us and those that don't know us, we truly are a family business. And although you do have the title of ordering and making sure the gallery runs, I think we all kind of help each other out for the most part. And it's been fun, and it's been quite the ride for 26 years.
Yeah, and I know in a couple episodes from now, we have one planned that we're going to kind of delve more into the family side of things. So that's when we're going to bring Mike, or so we're going to bring our dad on, and you can kind of hear, you can hear his take of it a little bit more, because it is interesting working, as a family. And I'm sure you've heard the phone ring during this episode. We actually all do work at the gallery too. So we're all here right now. We're all working. So that was, someone calling, but yeah. So yeah.
So now you guys got back last night from the show in Atlanta. What was your takeaway? How would you say the show was? Did it meet your expectations?
I kind of went in with minimal expectations, just because it is not necessarily a show that is for us specifically, because it is an international gift show. So you have brands from like Beanie Babies to Disney product. I mean, there was so much stuff, and it's fun to walk through the aisles, but clearly that's not what we sell. So it's kind of like a scavenger hunt looking for for people. But we did find, several new additions, which I'm really excited about. And, on top of the shows, we also do a lot of online searching as well, and going to street shows as well. So it's not just the trade shows that we find people at. So whatever we find there's other outlets for us to look at. And now I kind of know, and Mom knows what we need to find before the holidays. And we kind of have our goals now. We have our plan.
So there's the 3 or 4 big shows that you guys will go to and we'll go to throughout the year, and you start checking the boxes. So outside of that, you also will look at, not just specifically trade shows.
I spend a lot of time online and searching for artist sites. There's some, wholesale artist sites I can look at that will, show me artists that wholesale their work. I try to go to any art shows in the area that I can make it to. Our artist that we have coming on next week, Christina Kober, I actually found her at a sidewalk show in St. Pete, probably 8 years ago. So, there's a mixture of these big trade shows that we go to, online shopping, and then just art shows that we'll go to. And then plus also people come to us. We have a submission form on our website that you can fill out, that if you think you're a good fit, you can kind of get juried in. And, not everything's going to be the right fit for us. So if you ever do apply and we turn you down, it doesn't mean that we maybe not personally like your work. You just might not be what we need at the time. But I always try to, when we send those, sorry, this isn't going to work for us letters, we try to refer you to other galleries in the area that might be a good fit. Yeah, there's lots of different ways that we shop, not just the trade shows. It's kind of a combination of lots of things.
And for any artist or anyone who has a cousin or a sister or a friend that is an artist, you can go to the gallery website, and that's SHAPIRO'Gallery.com. And on the very bottom, there is a link, and we ask 5 or 6 questions. We do that because we don't want you showing up on a random Saturday when we're slammed trying to sell us artwork. We really need to be in the right mind frame. And again, as Alena and Sue go throughout the year, they're checking the boxes and completing the jigsaw puzzle, and they may have already fulfilled the medium that you have, and I might not know that. So you're going to come in and talk to myself if I'm working and Alena's not, and I'm not going to be able to give you an answer. So it's not a good use of your time or my time. So really, if you are an interested artist and you are listening to this, please just go to the website, SHAPIRO'Sgallery.com, and you can really get everything answered that you might have. So this is going to air on July 25th, which is also, ironically enough, 5 months until Christmas. So if you're listening, make sure you start your Christmas shopping and Hanukkah shopping and holiday shopping.
Yeah. And Zoe's
and Zoe's first birthday. So if anyone wants to bring in a 1-year-old birthday gift on Christmas Eve, you're more than welcome to. But we're 5 months until Christmas and the holidays and Hanukkah. What do we have? What's special? Anything unique? Anything you're really excited about? Any piece that we can get some of our customers excited about?
Well, I know one thing that we just found in Atlanta is that we have one very cool new jeweler coming in. All of his pieces are one of a kinds. The way that it worked, there was this gigantic table set up in his booth, and Mom and I basically just pulled all the pieces that we wanted and put them on a tray, and he's hanging on to it for us until November when they arrive. So I'm pretty excited for him because it's a new addition. There's a lot of oxidized pieces with some pretty pearls, and there's some topaz and opals and some gold accents. And I think that's going to be a really cool addition.
Yes,
and
cool things too. He made some great work.
Really cool jewelry. And then we also found some new yard art, which I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah. And for those that are, have shopped with us over the years, it sounds like that's some of the other shows and events that they've gone to. We have some really exciting new pieces, so it should be a fresh holiday look for a lot of our regulars and those that have collected jewelry or yard art over the years. It sounds like this year in particular, we have quite a bit of new stuff coming in, and I'm looking forward to it. The whole point of this episode was to really give feedback and understanding and try to explain a little bit better of how we build the gallery. And I think we've done a good job explaining it. I do know that if you head over to our YouTube channel, we have some videos posted of what the show venue looks like. It's massive. It's a very cool looking building as well. So I really encourage you to go to the SHAPIRO'S Rooted in American Craft YouTube channel. There's some videos from Sue's studio and kind of some of her work that she's made, and then also you'll really get to see what Alena and Sue had to walk into, and then you kind of get a new appreciation for the work that goes into finding that needle in the haystack. And it truly is, it's a massive building, and trying to find that one artist in a thousands, is part of what we do for you to make it easier, so when you walk in the gallery you get to enjoy all American made and you don't have to do any of the searching. We do it for you. So episode 3, we did trade shows, buying shows, building the gallery. What's episode 4? You mentioned before.
We have one of our jewelers, Christina Kober, is going to be joining us and kind of telling us about herself. She's one of our jewelers that we carry. She does some really cool pieces with words on them. And she also, recently we've started carrying her gold diamond dusted line. And she is based in Georgia. So we're excited to have her on and have you all get to learn a little bit more about Christina.
As we asked you throughout the first 2 episodes, to everyone, please like and follow, subscribe to us. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, and it's ShapirO'S with apostrophe S, rooted in American crafts. Like, follow, subscribe, and share with your friends. Also, Alena's on Instagram and Facebook all the time, posting the new items, the new pieces. We're trying to give some behind the scenes clips of the gallery as well. So please help spread the word, and we're going to continue to do these. And we have some really awesome artists coming up. We're trying to hit different mediums, different artists, different styles. We try to alternate between just us and bringing on other artists. So it's something different every week for you guys to enjoy. Anything else, Lena? Anything you can think of?
No, I think I'm good.
Anything we forgot, Mom? Sue, do you want to add anything else?
I think you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you guys. We'll see you next week. Look forward to Christina Kober, one of our jewelers, coming in. It's coming Thursday. So we'll talk soon. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.